should James Wiseman be the favorite to win Rookie of the Year after Klay Thompson's injury? I personally feel like he can be. I know they got scorers in Kelly Oubre, Wiggins, and Steph, but I don't feel like the Warriors can play the same anymore. They can't play the same with like all the off-ball movement that they had with Klay. They're probably going to be more interior focused with James Wiseman, and I think that James Wiseman is a dominant physical presence. I think he's 240 pounds, 7'1". He averaged 20 points and 11 rebounds at Memphis. Like, this guy is a monster. He's not just a rim runner. He can do way more. So I think right now, I'd pick him to be the Rookie of the Year. When I look at LaMelo, he has to share a backcourt with Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham. Anthony Edwards, it's a tough situation there. James Wiseman is in the best situation. The only other guy that I think about would be maybe Obi Toppin to take that Rookie of the Year spot. But I think James Wiseman is in the best position to win Rookie of the Year, and I think he's going to be dominant for the Warriors next year.
Yeah, and
next season, basically, in a month.
One thing that you mentioned that I thought was interesting is they're going to have to change their play style, and that's not going to be a one-season thing because even when Klay does come back eventually down the road, they can't run him like they did. I read a stat yesterday that he ran an average of 2.61 miles a game last year, or the last year that he played, and that was the most in the NBA per game in that season. You can't do that to a guy coming off a torn ACL and a torn Achilles. It's just not possible. So whatever they're going to do this year is what they're going to have to do moving forward. And I think that one of the best things for Wiseman is you look at one of the things they used to do outside of off-ball movement was the small ball death lineup, and they would just pick and roll the defense to death. And They would do it with Draymond Green, Iguodala, even Harrison Barnes used to do it sometimes. And James Wiseman is a better shooter, in my opinion, than Draymond Green. He's right up there with Barnes and Iguodala, which is crazy to say because he's 7'1", but he can shoot it. So that pick and roll or pick and pop combo with him and Curry is going to be deadly. And with the loss of Klay, something that they weren't prepared for, the Warriors, and now they're going to have to, very quickly try and pick up the pieces. He's probably going to have to take a role, unless the Warriors pull some miracle case, which I would find it very hard to imagine because big moves in free agency, while we might not realize it, take months of preparation. They don't happen on the drop of a dime. So now the Warriors have to pivot, and their pivot is not going to bring in a guy who's going to take away a large share of touches for Wiseman. So he's going to have to come in and carry a much bigger load than they originally planned for him to. But I think he's NBA ready. Like you said,
I think so too.
He's got the body, and he can play. He can finish inside. He's great around the rim, which at 7'1" is a given. But the fact that he can pop out and shoot it gives an extra dimension. In a Steve Kerr offense, we know he loves to draw up plays for his guys, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with James Wiseman. I think that gives him an edge in the Rookie of the Year department because the situation that he's coming into will allow him to play on at least a decent team. We don't know what the Warriors are going to be, but I definitely don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league again. He'll be playing with Steph.
If Curry's healthy, no.
Exactly. He'll be playing with Steph, so he'll get that recognition one way or another. And he'll also get enough of the shots because without Klay, he's going to be the second option on that team. I mean, I think he's the second option over Wiggins, over Oubre. You could make an argument there, but I think he'll step in and be the second option.
I mean, I think the second option might be Oubre. I think James Wiseman might be like tied for the third option with either like Wiggins or Oubre. Who knows? But right now, Golden State has three guys that can average 20 points a night. Like Steph is going to get his 25 to 30 or even more a night. Oubre, he's coming off a career high 19 points per game. I think he could average 20. Then Wiggins, he's averaged 20 before, and he averaged 19 in Golden State. So they got three guys that can get 20 points per game. Yeah. So Wiseman, if he can come in and average like 14 and 10, he could possibly make a big impact. And I think with this rookie class, I think numbers of like a 15 and 10 or 14 and 10 can win you the Rookie of the Year.
I was just going to say, on paper, he's not going to have to compete with a Zion or a Ja who's going to be coming in and being the star of their team, pretty much putting up all-star numbers. He's going to have to come in and have a solid season. That's it.
Yeah, most of these rookies that are getting drafted, I think, outside of LaMelo, because LaMelo to the Hornets, he can probably like blossom into a star right away. But Anthony Edwards on the Timberwolves or whoever else, like, they have to go on to a team and play a role. Yeah. Like Wiseman is going to have to play a role. Edwards is going to have to play a role. LaMelo's the only guy that might not have to play a role right away, but even so, like, he's sharing a backcourt. So it's going to make it tougher for him. Like, they were even talking about LaMelo potentially playing the 3, and I know we have a LaMelo topic, like, after this one. But, yeah, like, I just think James Wiseman should be the favorite to win Rookie of the Year right now. When you look at their roster, I mean, Damian Lee, Eric Pascal, Kayvon Looney, Jordan Poole, Marquise Chris, Nico Mannion, who
Really
got drafted.
Not a bad team.
I mean, you could say that, but I look, outside of Eric Pascal and Looney, I don't trust anybody else. Damian Lee is all right.
The good
but
thing about
Jordan
those
Poole,
guys
Marquise Chris, Nico Mannion, I'm not too fond of them.
those guys are not going to factor into what I was about to say. But the good thing about the majority of the guys that you said, they were around for championship runs. So, they have that experience, and that's something that a lot of guys in the league don't have.
Only Looney. Jordan Poole wasn't.
Damian Lee was there for.
I'm pretty sure last year
against the Raptors. I'm pretty sure.
I have to check because
I don't think that they were around for the full run, but I'm pretty sure Lee was there for the Raptors run. Well, either way, bringing Wiseman, and I think one of the bigger concerns of bringing any rookie in.
I mean, Damian Lee has no playoff stats, so he didn't play a minute in the playoffs. He was on a roster in 2018, but I don't think he played any minutes.
I just meant being on the roster, being around.
The only guy that like made an impact that was Draymond, Steph, and Looney, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is
having
new.
Those guys there, I think, is important for a guy, especially in Wiseman, who didn't get to play a college career pretty much. He played a week of games before being pulled out due to the investigations, and he hasn't played competitive basketball in what's going on a year now, over a year. So to not have any of that competitive experience, to jumping right into the NBA, he's going to need some serious leadership to keep him on track mentally, because we know he's physically there. He has the skill, but can he be there mentally? And I think being around Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, Looney, Draymond Green, guys who have been there, been around the league, and been to a championship, know what it takes, is going to be important for him. And just to segue a little bit, I think one of the biggest threats to him would be if the Hornets trade Terry Rozier, because I heard his name coming up in talks with the Clippers especially. If the Hornets trade Terry Rozier, LaMelo Ball's impact immediately increases.
Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran.
My name is Jack Barteck.
My name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to, because it helps us grow. We're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.